everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Michael, in the backyard. Well, I hope that introduction that you saw at the beginning got you to stick with me for a second, because I'm going to cover quite a bit of stuff today, and we're going to start off by talking about not this bike so much in the beginning, but I bought a new bike rack for my car, because my other one was so heavy. I mean, it was solid. It was designed to carry 200 pounds worth of bikes, and it was just cumbersome, and it had solid bars down here at the bottom that caused me to block a tail light practically when it was in the folded up position. So I wanted something a little lighter and a little different, and the link for this will be in the description, or where to get it. And if you like what you see here, not sponsored. I very rarely do sponsored videos because, well, nobody wants to sponsor me, but that's fine. That's fine. This is for my entertainment to do this for you guys, and your entertainment to watch me do it. And, but this one here, the windmill's starting to crank up. I can hear it. Anyway, this is my Concord e-bike. That's a 36 volt e-bike, and I wanted a rack. And here, I've got this, you ain't gonna believe this. It's already, where are we going? We're down here. I'm just, oh, here we go. I actually clamped with my new clamps, 2 of them, to this piece of receiver tube material to the weld table in order to put this whole thing together. Now, I didn't want to waste you guys' time. Let me get this back down where it goes. Didn't want to waste you folks' time watching me put together a rack or a bike carrier. It's not a rack, it's a bike carrier. But some of the features that I really enjoy about this so far, and I'm going to put it on my car today. It's going with me to work tomorrow with this bike so I can go on a bicycle ride. And so let me show you a couple of quick things here. Okay, so right here, it's got, looks like a 1-inch bar, but who knows, it might be Metricville. But it's at least, looks like 1.1/8 tubing. Yeah, 1.1/8 tubing. And then obviously back here, what's going in the receiver hitch is going to be 2 inch. I can't get it to do work. Yeah, it's 2 inch. And this is also 2 inch right here. So how this thing functions, which I like, it has these clamps here. These are on a plastic bushing with a clamp. When you tighten it down, it clamps onto this bar, which allows these to slide back and forth to adjust it for your bike so that your bicycle can be hitting here and here. And what I like about this one is the wheel is trapped below this area here on both. Why is this kind of cool? Because this one has a ratcheting clamp here. So your bike, let me see if I can do this one-handed. I can pull this out here while the bike's standing upright. I can push this down. Hear that ratchet sound? That's loud. But the bike can't go forward or back because it's trapped. And then I can push down on this and actually get a lot of good clicks out of it. And this thing is tensioned. I mean, now some people might go, I don't want this messing up my paint. And that's a real thing, a real concern for sure. Now this also has a couple of positions, or one position, or what did I do here? Did I do that right? I did. I wonder. Huh. I see it's got 3 holes here, and I've got it locked in the vertical position, but you can also lay it, well, I see what it is. If you lay this down, this bar down, you pull this pin out here and lay it down, you can put that pin in so it doesn't come back out. Okay, that makes sense. I'm making sure I understand it. I just put this together. My son and I just put this together yesterday when he was over. But the cool part is, this one here is on the inside, and you can obviously put a bike on the inside. It's got another, oh, let me get it out. Get the strap off here. It's got another ratcheting one here that would go on. Let's see if I can get this in the shot. So if this one was here, down below, it's designed to be down below it. So both bars here are roughly the same height. So depending on which side bike you were doing, you could put this up above here or down below here to catch whether it's a smaller bike or a bigger bike. So anyway, And the other really neat feature I like about it is right here. Right now I've got it pushed down tight. I can push this little button in and that locks it. Now this can't be depressed and this can't come up. So if somebody was to come and try to, whoa, careful, Dennard. If somebody tried to come and just take your bike real quick, I mean, they would really have to destroy and bend this part here to get it off of there. And because they can't slide it out down here because you got it trapped in here. Now it did come with some straps, some Velcro straps here that you could run through here and, you know, down around underneath and, you know, Velcro this so it doesn't come out. I'm going to do without that. Don't do what I do, folks. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations, I would say. But this, I mean, this currently can't go anywhere. The other advantage I have with this bike, I do have a suspension front fork. So even if I compress this, you know, if I compress this down, it's going to actually create more tension here and just help me out even more. But so far, that's what that looks like. I just wanted to show you this bike rack before we do step on to the next thing we're going to look at. But yeah, this here, you can pull this pin out here, and this can lay down flat, and then the whole rack will tilt up, flush, you know, close to the back of the vehicle. And being that these are tubes versus my other tubes, I think they're tubes. I feel like they might be. They're hollow tubes. And this is all steel here. Everything here is steel. It's way lighter than my other. My other one was very heavy because it had these big, heavy channels. They were aluminum, but there was a lot of it going on both sides, and they were thick and wide, and the wheel actually sat on top of it. Then it had straps that went over. It's a really, don't get me wrong, the other one's a really nice bike rack that I have, or bike carrier that I have. But if I'm carrying lighter bikes, like this Concord e-bike versus my 80-pound Hemingway, this was going to work much better. This was rated at 160 pounds. These bikes only weigh 50 pounds. So even if I put two of these on here, I still got another 60 pounds of capacity. Anyway, enough about that. Now let's talk about the next cool thing. Now we're going to sneak around to the back side of the bike here, and I'm going to show you what I've been playing around with, which is, this is kind of fun. This is way fun. I've really, really enjoyed it. Oh, and for the lock, there's a little barrel key that you can go in here and you go click and come back, and that button's pushed out. Now it's unlocked. So it's a key there, plus it has a lockable clevis pin. The bolt actually screws into it, and it screws in so you can suck it. I just need to show you. So this particular clevis pin here actually is a bolt on this side. Can you guys see that? You guys see that over there? There's a bolt head over here. It threads into this. And when it threads in, it sucks it up tight to one side, which prevents this piece here from rocking back and forth. It just helps reduce the amount of wiggle that you're going to experience when the bike's back here. You know, right now that's pretty solid. Only play I'm really getting right now is the clamps holding it to the table. It also, believe it or not, it came with this wrench. The bike rack did. And it came with these two wrenches, which looks like a 17 and a 19 millimeter, for assembling it. So it came with all the tools you need to assemble and or use it, which I thought that was pretty fantastic of them. And it's very reasonably priced, I think at $149. I got it here. I'm like, what am I going to get for that kind of money? Because my last one cost over $300. And so far, I'm very pleased. Okay, on to the really, really cool stuff now. So 3D printing. You know, guys, you know, I've gotten into 3D printing a lot. And you guys have seen the Bambu Labs. And this is where I probably the caption, I haven't even thought about what the thumbnail's going to look like. There's going to be so much going on here. It's like, what is the thumbnail going to look like? Because I'm trying to create thumbnails to get you guys to click on things and go, oh, cool. And then the first 10 seconds of the video, I'm trying to get you, oh, yeah, I'm going to hang out and watch. And that's a lot of what content creators are trying to do. So, e-bike. Let's talk e-bike. You follow me over here? So this particular e-bike, Concord e-bike, has a 10 amp hour battery that looks just like this. Kind of irregular shaped and whatnot. Well, I have 4 of this style of e-bike that all has the same battery. Now, why does that make sense to anybody, or why would that be relevant, let's call it? Well, because if I had, this has about, I've tested it, they advertise 20-mile range on this bike. I've actually experienced 36-mile range on this bike, which I thought was pretty cool. So I'm thinking, well, what if I had a day that I wanted to go further than 36 miles before I recharged it? What if I wanted to go twice as far, or 3 times as far, or 4 times as far in a given day? And I wanted to have enough battery power to help me out to get that job done. Well, being as I have 4 of this style of bike, I have 4 of this style of batteries, what's the best way to carry these with me? And they weigh 5 pounds a piece. So if you're going to have 1 on the bike, but if you're going to carry 3 more, if you had 4, if you're going to carry 3 more, how would I carry them safely, successfully? And so I started dreaming about how to do it. And that's where 3D printing comes in. So I printed no less than 8 of these. You're like, Michael, what is that and what good does it do you? Well, so I'm looking at this particular profile right here and going, that's fairly irregular. I can measure this, and I can get some measurements here and here, like overall height and whatnot, but trying to figure out where these little lumpy bumps here on the bottom are and all that fun stuff was like, yeah. So then you start drawing it up. I'm drawing everything in Fusion 360 myself. There's plenty of CAD programs out there you can draw things in. So I started drawing it up, and I got that profile laid out. Then I put a little frame around it so I could print it. You can print it 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeters thick or whatever, and that way you can get something drawn up that you can go, hey, look at that. And it took me 7 or 8 of them because I kept making little tweaks. But we're talking a 15-minute print or so to print out this little profile here. I'm hoping this looks good on camera. But I can see how that little dude there fits. And I'm like, oh, cool. So once I got that printed, I said, okay, let's print a long one because I want to see how it fits when you got more material over it. So here we go. Same deal here, about yay long. Fits in there. Well, that's a pretty good way to secure the battery, isn't it? So then I'm like, okay, we got this, we got a profile that works. Now what? Okay. I want to carry 3 batteries. How do I do that? Well, look at there's 3 of these profiles. You can take that same profile, copy it, space it out, and all that fun stuff. And then there's more. How do I put these 3 profiles onto my bike? Well, then I started dreaming up, well, I got a bike rack, which isn't currently on here. As you can see, it's not on here. I made this so that it fit the rail on the back rack. So this would sit on the rail and all that kind of fun stuff. Now, here's where it gets really fun and really cool. As if we haven't already had more fun than one person should be allowed to have. Look at this. So this is the bike rack and how it sits. And I've got it off the bike right now because I took this into the house so I could do some more measuring and leave the bike out here in my shop. So I did this number. And you're going to ask yourself, what in the heck is all this about? Well, it's a battery holder, right? Because I thought about doing this, at first doing this really long sleeve, and I did. I drew up this monstrosity. And you guys are going, oh my gosh, this is like just under a half hour under 24-hour print with a 0.8 nozzle diameter. And you guys are going, what in the heck is that? Well, so I made the longer sleeve and I did it so the battery fits in it like that. And then I was thinking about printing another one that fit over the front half and then have like some spring-loaded clamps here to kind of encase it and have my batteries totally encased. This process is iterative, yes. So here again, the same rails to sit on the bike rack with a couple of, bolt patterns here that I could put a bottom clamp on here and tie it to the bike. And these were all places where I could strap stuff to. If I wanted to strap on things hanging down up above and all that stuff. And then I got to look at it and like, this took 1.8 rolls, 1.8 kilograms of filament. And so it weighs about 4 pounds. I'm like, wow, that was a lot. So that's when I came up with this. Because yes, I printed one of these. And then once I sat it on the bike, I've got to thinking, why don't I print 2 of those and clamp them separately, as you can see from the bottom here. And this is another reason I've got it off the bike, is because I can show you this easier off the bike than on the bike. I got a 4-bolt pattern and a plate made out of ABS that bolts it to the bottom. Can you guys see that okay? You get the gist? So this is locked on. I could pick the whole bike up by this. This ABS is, fairly strong, and it's done really well. I haven't test rode it yet, but the other thing I experimented with, is how do I keep the battery from going this way and that way if it's open on both ends. So I made these little brackets for the end. And I've got these so that they can actually spread, and they're tight. Oh, come on. So I've got that like that, right? And that way, I could actually, out the back end, when I pull the one off the back, I could actually slide the battery out, leave the one on the front there. And then I tried to slot in one piece, so it could be on here. And then that snaps on. That's pretty rigid. It does a spring loaded that way, but the battery's going to try to go that direction. So I did all this to say I did something even different, because there again, you look at it and go, I can do better. I can do different. I can do better. And so that's what I did. Now, I'm going to go ahead and mount this thing back on the bike, because, well, maybe I'll take this apart first off the bike. And some of you might be going, Michael, that seems like a whole lot of trouble to put extra batteries on your bike. No, it's not. For me, it's fun. So let me get my little impact and see if I can get these off quick, because I got to show you what I got to do next. And this is where it gets even cooler. The other thing you might not know you can do is in Bambu Slicer, I was able to put those words on the back of this strap. And this strap is crazy strong. When I put it on there, it snaps tight in place. And that'll come into play here in a minute. And that's why I want you guys to follow along and understand how your hobbies can collide. And that's what we've had here. My 3D printing world is now heavily collided into my bicycle world. If you hung with me this far, I appreciate you so much. I really do. If you've clicked off already, that's fine too. Now, some of you, I can already hear you going, man, you sure are wasting a lot of time and effort just to do this. Well, and a filament, because all these pieces you see here, other than a couple of them here, they might go onto my wall of shame, wall of learning, as I call it. It's not shame, it's learning. And I've learned a lot of stuff. So here, I've got this same pattern, another pattern I created on the bottom. And I've got other plates to fasten it down here. And there again, I was curious. I kind of made these a little tight. So I open these holes up a little bit. Yeah, they go through really nice, really nice. Okay, perfect, perfect. We got something going now. I got to get me a tap, because I got to tap these 8 holes out to 1/4-20. Alrighty, we got those all tapped out. I actually printed them to a tap drill size, so this would all work. Was the plan anyway. So we're gonna put this right here. Please fit. Please fit. Oh, backwards. There we go. Perfect. Hangs on there by itself. The nice thing about this, the way I've got it set up, a lot of the pressure and weight is just focused on the rail itself, you know, so the plastic doesn't have to do that much work. Okay, can I slide that back some? You don't have to rattle tat this down very tight because it's the plate. I've only got this setting up about 2 millimeters proud, 2.5 millimeters proud of this. So when this is on here, the plate is actually going to flex and put tension on itself, so it works like a lock washer at the same time. Now I got to figure out how much do I got to nip off of this. Oh man, it ain't much. It ain't much. Belt sander made short work of that. Now will it get up there to the whole location? Oh, golly. This guy knows what he's doing sometimes. And this bike is the bike I'm planning on taking on vacation with me next. And just for the simple fact that it's going to have me some range and going into uncharted territory, it will allow me to have some get out of trouble free type situations when it comes to did I get myself in a hill or in a headwind that I wasn't expecting, and I can, you know, not exhaust myself completely to get out of that situation. And keep in mind, these racks are only designed to handle a certain amount of weight. And usually it's like only 10 or 15 pounds. So really the bike itself, you know, the batteries themselves, I've put 3 batteries on here, that's 15 pounds. And then once I hang saddlebags on the side and put some gear in there, that's another so many pounds. What's up, boss? Boo, you scared the crap out of me. All right. Camera's rolling, boss. What do you think? Huh? I've got to make some adjustments on the strap, but now look at this. Load the torpedo tube. Where's my other one? Oh. Load the torpedo tube. And the other one's going to go back on the bike for now, but I made another strap for this one, and I've got to make some adjustments. Why? Because this has a little bit too loose here, and it allows the battery to kind of go. But as you can see, this will be something that'll stop the battery from coming out. And also, per my son's suggestion, tapered. Was going to taper this, but I already had this printing, so I tapered that. So when you go to put this on here, you can kind of, it kind of helps, you know, guide it on there for you. But that's 3.5 millimeters. I got a gap here that this rocks back and forth. So I thicken this up 3.5 millimeter, 3.5 millimeter this way. So this is thicker because right now you can see I get a lot of flex there, and I want these to snap on tight. I want more resistance than I'm currently getting. I don't want these, this is going to, you know, they can come off pretty easy. There it is. Torpedo tube extraordinaire. I'll throw this battery back on the bike. All right. And I'll take these back out while I put the bike to the floor, because why lift another 10 pounds when you don't have to? Where you going, boss? I'm gonna need some help. This bike's heavy. Just kidding. I think I can get it. I'm gonna unlock this guy. Boom. We're gonna get back here and unclamp it. Nice thing, I can slide that all the way off out of my way if I want. Actually, this will only be 1.5 feet off the ground when I normally do it. There we go. Huh? I should do it in gray. Well, this is what I have and had. And yes, the chances are I will make another one out of gray. Well, black, I didn't want black because it's just, if it's going to sit outside on my bike rack, absorbing heat. And these batteries don't like heat or excessive heat. So this is kind of a lighter color. So there's a nice light gray or dark gray even, but anything. There's that and that. And then once I get the thicker one of these, it'll be awesome. Right now, that one isn't going to let it come out, but I wanted to have a little bit of tension this way so there's no rattly. I like it. Now that we got the bike rack freed up of the bike, I haven't flipped it up yet. So this, pull that little hasp out. I can lay that down. It looks like, yeah, so whether you lay this down one way or the other, it's got a hole in the bottom of the tube here. So that doesn't come up when it's come up and bang your car. If I lay it this way, yeah, that's a better way to lay it, I believe. So yeah, I've got this one adjusted for that, but I kind of can adjust the other ones. It's good and tight. Now, if I take this pin out, one thing I did like about the $300 and some odd bike rack is it had quick release, like a little thing you could pull. But I have high confidence this is going to work just fine. So this is a lot lighter, so I can just, that tilts up like that. And they got these nice little cables that keep your clothespins from getting lost. So yeah, you can just put that right there. Very nice, very nice. Very, you know, my taillights aren't going to be blocked because the other one was really tall. They came up about yay high, and this bar that was right here would block my tail light on the left tail light. Very nice. Now, I keep an impact up in my garage to quickly take these type of things on and off. What's that? It's too small. Yeah, this came with a lock washer and a washer. So once you get the lock washer tension off, free wheels out of there pretty nice. It's not like this thing is really bound up in there or anything. But you see what that is? And then it's got the little lock piece on the end where my other one has like just your normal hairpin, right? Anybody out there curious what this one weighs? Me, I am. Got my big game scale. Then we can hang it up on that. Well, that's right at, looks like about 41 pounds, which is way more manageable. I would guess my other one weighs 60 to 70. I'd go weigh it for you and take the time to do it, but it's up in the other garage, and I ain't carrying that thing all the way down here just for a weight. But yeah, so 41 pounds. Not bad. Not bad at all. It's so light, I'll just unhook it this way. Whoa. Getting away from me here. There we go. Look, one-handed. Ain't no way I'm picking up the other one one-handed like that. So that is very nice. Okay, Big Game Scale, thank you for your service. So a quick recap. What did we learn today? Well, we learned that that bike rack works pretty good for that bike and all my other bikes and what I call my slow bikes. I stole that from Bike Farmer, Andy at Bike Farmer. He calls his bike slow bike, so I put that on there because I liked it. I'm not out here trying to win any races. Okay. I kind of want to put I will go ahead and slide this other one onto the thing just for safekeeping as well. And then I'll have to keep all these keys together. This is what I need, is more keys to keep track of. How much lighter is it going to make this front end feel for me? You know? Not bad. I don't think I'll be looping out. All right. I've got another strap printing right now, so that's makes me happy, and we'll test fit that. All I got to do is roll this up up, throw it on the rack. And I'm going to do some riding tomorrow, primarily just to see how well this thing rides, any kind of things that are irritating me about it. But pretty sleek and simple. Cool part is, with just 2 batteries in here, I think with all 3 batteries in here, I can actually get a charger plugged in while they're on here. That's good. Okay, folks. Well, there again, from prototype, or from test fit to test fit to does it fit to prototype to yet another prototype, and getting close to final concept here. Now, the other cool thing here is if I wanted to, I could fasten a rack right on top of this, and it would take the weight because structurally it's crazy tight. You guys are way over there, I understand, but yeah, that's the boss ain't wrong. You know, if I printed this out of a dark gray, if I could get a dark gray like this, it'd be cool because then it'd be part of the bike. Black, this is ABS, and black would hold up fine in the sun. It's just going to get really hot sitting in the sun, and that's going to heat my batteries up, which doesn't do the batteries any good. So a lighter color is going to do me better. Now, I might get myself a little cloth cover or some sort of that I could stretch over here, for instance, like a white cloth cover or something that I could kind of like cover it up if it's just hanging out in the parking lot at work, and I can keep the batteries from getting too hot. I'm really excited about this lightweight trailer hitch. That's going to make life so much easier, because I always dread taking the other one on and off just because of the weight of it and the awkwardness of getting to it. This one's less bulky. I can get to that clevis pin so much easier. All right, folks, I hope you found this video informative and helpful. And if you want to see me design some stuff, I'm happy, more than happy, to get on there and show you some firsthand design of some of the things, how I draw and how I export it and how I put it into the slicer, what I use for slicer settings. If there's any of you there that are interested in seeing that, I'm kind of using this video to see how much interest there is there. I might go ahead and make some drawing videos. That's going to capture a whole nother audience that I probably don't have, which is people that want to learn how to draw in Fusion or, Pro E or any kind of drawing program to see what you can create. This was all just an idea in my head that I was able to draw and put into 3D world and then bring into the real world via my 3D printers. There again, not sponsored by Bambu Labs, not sponsored by this bike rack company, not sponsored by Concord e-bikes. None of that. This is all me doing my hobby and sharing it with you folks out there in the great land. And hopefully help you guys spark an idea, think of something. I like sharing my knowledge with other people. I am not by any means an expert or a pro at anything. I'm what does they say, a jack of all trades, master of none. Here I am. And I'm willing to share my knowledge with other people. But, and there again, I get really excited about my hobbies. I enjoy my hobbies. And I just like to create, do, build. And I go home at night. The one thing I do like about 3D printing, that when I'm building something like this, even if I decide to sit down and take a lunch for an hour, and I know that's still working for me without me having to be there doing things. My welder doesn't do automatic welding for me. My fabrication doesn't do automatic fabrication for me, but I can design and draw and send that printer on a 3 hour to 20 hour for that green one, 23.5 hour print for this one. I can send these things on a print journey. And the nice thing about the Bambu Labs, folks, is that, and there are other printers out there that will do probably the same or very similar stuff. I'm very familiar with Ender type stuff from 5 years ago and Bambu Lab stuff of today. We have put over, we're closing in on 1,400 hours between my P2S and my H2C printer. And I printed in 0.8 diameter nozzle, 0.2, 0.4, and 0.6. And I kind of got an idea what to use where. This here particular one was printed with a 0.8. The finishes are for a big piece are decent enough. They would have been fine for what I was doing, but this also would have taken, what would it have taken? Almost 2 days to print versus 23 and a half hours. I think it would have taken over 2 days on a 0.4 nozzle. So anyway, that's why I have the different nozzle diameters, because I can take advantage of the speed, especially when it's prototype. I can see if it's going to work faster, and then I can go to a 0.4 like I did here if I want a refined finish with a little more precision, so to speak. Okay, this is Michael saying if it ain't broke, fix it till it is, and we'll see you on the next video if I'm lucky. And you guys keep creating, keep doing things. If you got any questions, my email's down in the description. Links to some of this stuff will be down in the description. Maybe links to other videos. If I think there's another video that if you would like this one, I think you might like this one, would be a suggestion down in the video. And that's all I got to say about that. You guys have a wonderful time out there. The weather is, spring has sprung. It's starting to get warmer out here. And we're getting ready to unwrap some boats on my other channel and start working on some boat stuff real soon, because 'tis the season. This is Michael, and I'm out. Awesome. Let's get this stuff out of here so we can bring the next project in here. You betcha.